So today we're going to leverage the information on Zillow to buy a home the way a real estate professional would. Let me just tell you, I'll just give you a little outline. The whole purpose here is that we would like to determine what the buyer's agent's commissions are if we can, or we'll estimate if we can't. And we'd like to leverage those to get the desired result of either being the winning buyer in a multiple offer situation or getting the home at a great price without having to overpay $50,000 to $100,000. Or maybe, if we're not in a real seller's market, maybe we'll even negotiate some of the buyer's agent's commissions for ourselves to maybe put in a countertop or a floor or something like that. So on $1 million home, in general, we would expect a 2.5 or 3% commission being available for the buyer's agent. You'll see 2 to 3% probably 95% of the time. Now on Zillow, you can sometimes figure out what that percentage is. I'm a real estate agent in San Diego. I'm a broker. I'm also an attorney. I've referred out buyers and sellers all over the country, all over the state, and sometimes I can use our MLS to find out how much the commissions are. And occasionally, lately, you can see it on the MLS. And that's the first thing I'd like to know if I'm interested in this property. It's just how much leverage I can develop by knowing what the commissions are. And so I went and picked a random house in Temecula. I've sold homes during a short sale. I sold a bunch of homes in Temecula, but I have not purchased any homes in Temecula. An agent for me lived in Temecula. He may have sold a few homes up there, but I personally did not work with any buyers there. I'm not seeing the real estate commissions. I am seeing another thing that I want to know. I'd want to know what the Zillow estimate is. I'd like to know what the major websites are so I know what the public's thinking. I, of course, would want to develop my own numbers or hire an appraiser for a few $100s to really get a good grip on where the market was and where it might be heading, and then putting this house into that lineup. That's how I value the homes. But Zillow's got it at a little less than where the listing price is, which is pretty common. And I just don't see what the buyer's agent's commissions are. But right before I did this video, I went over Redfin, because Redfin sometimes does have it. And so Redfin shows us that the buyer's broker commission is 2.5%. So let's go back to Zillow for now. We can go over Redfin. At this stage, it's pretty much going to be the same thing on either website. So we're looking at, let's say you wind up buying the home for 1.1. It'd be $25,000 plus another $2,500 because it's $100,000. So it's $27,500 about in commissions, which, if you're the listing agent, there's a good chance Marcel's listed this property for 5% total. So Marcel will get $27,500 as the listing agent if the property closes at 1.1. And the person who shows the buyer the property, because for all intents and purposes the buyer, that's when procuring cause happens, when you see the property with a buyer. Now there's exceptions. I'm a lawyer, and I don't want you to get all legalistic about that, because there's a series of presumptions, and I've arbitrated, I've advised real estate agents on this. This is not a legal lesson. This is just for intents and purposes. The agent you see the property with, there's a good chance they'll be procuring cause. So if you were to buy the property, they'd be entitled to the buyer's agent commission. That's just the short version of that. So Marcel, if he represented you, may get paid. It'd be double-sided. He'd get paid as a listing agent and the buyer's agent. If a buyer's agent shows you the property, Marcel would probably get the listing agent commission, which we're speculating is $27,500, because it'd be 2.5%. We're presuming it could be anything, but it's probably 2.5 statistically, or chances are. And then the buyer's agent, the person who brought you to the property, would get $27,500. So that is what we're talking about. So now, let's say I want to buy the property. I now know who the listing agent is, Marcel, and if Marcel's number is either here or the website I'm looking, listed by, they give me the Temecula office probably number. I would prefer Marcel's directly. Marcel's the one who knows the seller. Marcel's the one with all the information. Marcel's the relationship that I would want to leverage. I would want Marcel to know that even if I were representing myself and looking for a buyer's agent myself, I would want Marcel to know I'm a great buyer, that I'm not going to jack the seller around by being the multiple offer winner, but then doing an inspection and trying to bring that $25,000 or $30,000 I just paid up back. I'm going to tell Marcel that's not how my clients or I would play that game. If we make an offer, we're going to stick to it. And the only way that might change is if there's an easement that's discovered or a cracked foundation that's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars, and then I might walk away or ask for a new price. But if any of the regular stuff we always see in inspection comes up, I'm staying with my price. So I'm also going to close. I'm a motivated buyer. I have reasons I want to buy this property. I'm financially ready to do it. I can use their lender I'm more than happy to get checked out by their lender too, so they know what's going on. I'll share my information from the lender. I will close. I'm the buyer that he can feel comfortable recommending to the seller if I'm in a reasonable range, is what I'm saying. If your sellers only want the top dollar, I can do that too. But if they want someone who's going to close fast and on time, I'm their person. Just tell me the terms, and we're going to get this done. Like, I want Marcel to really have confidence in me so that Marcel isn't embarrassed, so that his clients can depend on me, that maybe they're downsizing, maybe they're going upsizing, maybe they're moving closer to a job, maybe they're retiring and going on a world tour. All sellers have different motivations. I know Marcel has a relationship. Like, people might be so happy with Marcel, they want him to represent the buyer and double side this. I want that as an option. So how do I do that? Well, the first thing is I call up Marcel and I introduce him. I can tell him I'm a real estate agent. I'm a broker, actually. I'm a very motivated buyer. I have a few questions. So my questions might be, how many showings have you had so far? Are you expecting any offers? Do you have any offers? Are you representing any of those buyers? Are the sellers currently looking at offers, or have they turned them all down? Okay, so if he doesn't have any offers yet, I figure I got a little time. This is sort of like the decision matrix. I go into much more detail about what to do next. At winnerscheck.org, I've got alternatively a free consult with us. Someone from my office, Phil, I've talked about, great guy. He's helped me negotiate home for my family. We purchased and renovated properties together. Phil's like absolutely one of the best. And I don't know if you see my videos. I only say that about Phil. I only say it about deserving people. And the only person I think about, I said it recently, is Phil. Phil just got back from a couple of years over in Arizona, where he made a whole bunch of money on renovating and flips. And now he's back. They preferred California. He's back in California working with me again. We were still working together, but he's back. And he's the guy you're going to talk to over at my website if you want to find out how to leverage our licenses. Really, I have a revocable referral, revocable agency program where you get to act like me. Where you get to leverage my license, but it's revocable. So anyway, I'm talking to Marcel. I'm finding out what's going on, and then I'm deciding, okay, so do I have to go see it right away? As an agent, I can let myself, well, I might not be able to let myself into Temecula. It depends on which MLS I'm a member of, and which house this MLS is on. But I might say, if Marcel's people are looking at offers right now, I'd say, Marcel, I'd love to get in to see this property right now. I'm a real estate agent. I don't have access. And I might say, would you mind letting me into the property? If you let me into the property and I represent myself, I'd be more than willing to compensate you for it. It's a 2.5. Well, let's go see it. Was it 2.5%? It's 2.5% to the buyer's agent. What if I were to just give you 5% if you let me into the property and buy this property? Would that work? And so now I'm in. In the meantime, let's say I see the property, I make an offer. I create a share referral. I'm happy to start with a text. Marcel, if I'm the winning bidder and I'm at 2.5%, I'm more than happy to give you that 0.5% part of it. I might work out the numbers to be very specific, but that's what I would do. Now, and this has happened many times. I've had buyers who are license holders make offers representing themselves. And then either during the negotiations or later, a couple times, when multiple offers were coming in, they're like, John, I'd like you to represent us completely in this anyway. And why is that? Because they know that they know that I have to discuss things with my sellers, and they want to leverage my relationship. I can go much more into detail at other times why they would do that and under what circumstances. But the point is that if I'm in here and I'm in the middle of negotiations and I know other offers are coming in because Marcel's telling me, then I might say, okay, Marcel, what if I now gave you 2%? I just had 0.5% or 1%. So if you're working on this, you might say, well, I'm working with John, or I'm working with a buyer's agent or a broker. You probably want to get all this in writing before you go. Marcel, I really want to be the winner. I know I was working with somebody. I can buy them out of that, or I can cancel that relationship. Marcel's going to say, can you do it in writing? And you can say yes if you're working with us in our revocable referral program or revocable agency program. But you're like, Marcel, I'd really like to have you represent me now so that I can be the winning bidder. If I do, can we do this? And you make sure you get the information about all the other buyers, that Marcel's comfortable recommending you to the seller as the top buyer. I mean, you want to work all that out. That's all part of, when you're working with us, we help you do that. Now, how do you protect yourself? Well, we have a video in our free video series. Well, I'm going to put it into the series now. I have a video on YouTube. I'll put it into the video series. The things that a buyer's agents do and how you can replace them. In general, in a scenario like this, what would I want a buyer's agent for? I'd like to find really good home inspectors, but as a buyer, I don't want my agent hiring the inspectors. I'd want to hire the inspector, so the inspector felt loyal to me. So I don't really worry about inspections. I want to find one. If I have no idea what to do, I talk to an escrow person and say, I'm about to make an offer. I want to know who's doing escrow and title. I'd like to have that in our control, but I'm also willing to cater that to the selling agent. So depending on who title is, I'm going to call up a title and escrow office and ask a few questions like, do they know of any great inspectors? And they may not, but they may. Do they... well, there's other things that come up where title and escrow, they really are an untapped source. Most closing agents at title companies love to share their information. So that's one way to get the information you need. Now, if you're uncomfortable with real estate contracts and you want someone to look them over, that's a perfect time to be working with an attorney. Have the attorney look it over. The attorney works for a lot less than $25,000 to review a contract. So you can protect yourself in myriad ways without a buyer's agent. I think all the information the buyer's agents used to be useful for is now on the net, in my opinion. So if you'd like to learn more about how to really buy a home like a pro, go over to winnerscheck.org or check out the free video series or set up a consult with us. Be the winning buyer. You don't have to settle for homes that buyer's agents can get you. You can settle for the homes. You can purchase the homes that real estate agents buy for their family members. That's really the point of this whole training. Be in the same boat as a real estate agent buying for their family members, because that's what you might have to do if you want to get those great homes. If you want to buy the ugly homes, the overpriced homes, work with a buyer's agent. If not, you need to know when to leverage those buyer's agent commissions to work with the listing agent. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.